Howdy. All right, so, well, first, thank you for being here at 11:44 messages. This is a different reading tonight, and actually it was a suggestion from a viewer, a subscriber. So, thank you for this. You know who you are if you're watching. This is going to be my very first pick a card, and it's going to be surrounding love. So I will give you time to pick which pile you are resonating to the most, and then I will read the messages, and it will, of course, all be in the comment section as far as which pile is what message, okay? So you have your time. Pile 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Love messages. So let me make sure that I have a pen so that I can write down what pile is what. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You pick a card yet? Do you know which one you want? All right, here we go. So, if you picked card 1 is what I want to call it, then we have the card that we pick, and then we also have the advice messages underneath. So card 1 is the 7 of Pentacles. Now just take a look at that so you can take it all in. Okay, so basically, you could feel as if you pick this card, you could feel as if a relationship is taking too long to get to the next step, or it's taking too long to warm up. Maybe like it's not going anywhere. Maybe you're ready for engagement or marriage, and it should have been there already, okay? Or maybe you're just wanting a commitment in general from someone that you're in a connection with. And you're like, okay, we've been spending time, we've been doing this and that, and nothing's happened yet. You should try living in the moment when it comes to this situation and just being patient, because slow and steady wins the race. It will get there. Trust the process, okay? If you are single, then you could be thinking that it's just taking too long to find a meaningful relationship, okay? Taking too long to get into a relationship, and you are just feeling like stuck, okay? So the advice here, you have share the love. And this is basically talking about connecting with friends, okay? Not focusing too much on a relationship, just connecting with friends. You have just breathe. This is talking about taking a step back, connecting with your spiritual self. Do some self-care. Take yourself out on dates, take care of your body so that you can recharge and that you're not putting too much energy into relationships or finding a relationship. Remember, the most important connections that you can and should have are with the divine and with your higher self. Okay? Be careful and cautious when it comes to having one-sided relationships where the other person isn't putting in much work towards the connection, where they're not taking responsibility for their actions or lack of actions. Okay? Make sure that you use your intuition and watch how this person is. Are they being completely open and honest? Or are they being closed off? Okay? Question their actions, question their motives for being with you or being in your energy. Don't share too much about how you feel with this person. Let them share their feelings and their thoughts. If you feel as if you need to bring something up, like a concern that you have, to pull information out of them, then do so. Don't worry about upsetting them. You should be able to share openly with each other. Sometimes you could want a relationship so much, or you could just be so involved in a relationship that you are already in, to where it becomes your world, and you don't pay too much attention to yourself and your own wants and needs. You're just so clouded by your relationship or by wanting a relationship. So take a step back from a relationship or from wanting a relationship and focus more on your higher self at this time. Focus more on the divine. As you can see, this person is in nature. You could want to connect more with nature. Examine who you are and what you need. Also, meditate. And this also talks about self-care, okay? For some, even talking to someone spiritual that can guide you. This is actually in the major arcana. This is the Hermit card, okay? So that was pile 1. And now 720 for pile 2. I always do that where I forget to take the first timestamp. It's all good. I'll get there. Okay, I'll just leave this like this. I'll do a new timestamp. 7:44 for card 2. Okay, so if you picked card 2, then you picked the Page of Cups. Okay? Now, you could receive news about new love coming your way, or you could have just met someone. You could feel shy around them, or maybe you could be cautious when it comes to, I don't want to say scared, but kind of hesitant. That's the word. You're kind of hesitant when it comes to being vulnerable, okay? You don't want to be too trusting. Maybe that could be how you feel. For some, you could have some self-esteem issues, okay? Now, this could be existing or new. You could be uncertain about a connection. Like if you want to go through with it or not, if you want to continue it or not, enter it all the way or not. Maybe you don't want to overgive like you could have in other relationships in the past. Maybe you don't want to put yourself out there too much. If you're already in an existing deeper connection, both of you could benefit from sharing more of your playful, romantic feelings with each other. So, if you feel like flirting, then flirt with each other. It doesn't matter how long you've been together. Flirt with each other. Go on creative dates. Have more fun. Okay? Try new things. For those of you that are unsure about an existing connection, you are urged to do this, or you could already be doing this. This talks about asking yourself, is this relationship still good for me? If you are in a current relationship, is this still good for me? Does this still serve me? This relationship could be feeling stuck at this time. Maybe you two could have grown apart. Okay? Ask yourself, are you able to be yourself in this relationship fully? Or do you walk on eggshells? Or do you try to change for the other person? Does this relationship still make you happy? Does this help you grow? Does it help you evolve? Does it fulfill you? For some, if your answer is no, then it could be time to move on, walk away, and meet someone new. Or it could be time to take a break from this person just to see how you both feel after the break. For some, space is all that you need, okay, to make the right decision. Sometimes when you're apart from each other, even temporarily, it helps greatly so that you can come back together in a better way. For some, you could surprise yourself and realize that you feel better without them. Now, if the answer was yes, then get creative and put the spark back into your relationship. As far as doing the creative dates, flirting, stuff like that. Be realistic about what you can give to the connection. And be realistic about what the other person can give in return. Be open and honest about what you both desire, what you both demand in this relationship. Make sure that they are also getting what they desire, what they need. Be direct so that you can get that in return. For some, make sure that you are taking care of your bodies as well. If there's something that you can do to maybe increase your confidence, if you are the one that's having self-esteem issues, confidence issues, then whatever you can do to increase that, then go ahead and just go for it. Okay? Okay. That was pile 2, card 2. And now at 13 minutes, we'll just say, we're going to move on to card 3. All right. If you picked card 3, then you picked the Star. What a beautiful card to have. All right. So, you could be healing from a previous relationship. If you are in an existing relationship, you could have had some issues that you're in the process of healing from, with each other, of course. Have faith that all of the difficulties that you've had together, that they're in the past. Because with this card, healing energy is now surrounding you. The light at the end of the tunnel, that's what this card is. Now, your existing relationship will be happy. It could possibly also inspire you to be the best version of yourself. If you are single, you will meet your wish come true with this energy. So just have hope. You will be in a position of things working out for you romantically. Now, the advice. Now is the time to determine what your new beliefs are regarding love and commitment. Because different relationships require different things. Different people require different things. So if you are with a new person, Or even if you're single, throw out the old ideas and beliefs that you've had about relationships, that you've had about how people should be when it comes to connections. Because it's time for the new. It's time for a new perspective, new beliefs, all of that. What do you need and what are you willing to give? Okay? Um, if it's existing, then bring it into a new energy. Start over when it comes to the you and the other person. Be open-minded. Have open conversations. Explain what changes you want to see and what you can both do to make that happen. And even if you're single, same thing. Just go into the new relationship with an open mind. Um, could be focused on what hasn't worked out in the past when it comes to relationships. You could fear that, you know, the past disappointments will repeat, but don't let that anxiety ruin or affect your existing relationships or your future relationships. Because if you're single, you need to also release this energy because it will draw that very outcome that you fear. It will draw that to you. Also, for some, don't question if you are worthy of love. Just because, you know, you've had past disappointments does not mean that you are not worthy of love. Just because it didn't work out for you in the past. Just because you haven't found love yet doesn't mean that you're not worthy of love. For some, past disappointments could cause you to withdraw your energy, close off, so that it's like to protect yourself. Okay? You may be blocking what you really desire when it comes to love. So it's time for you to release that fear, release that energy. And it ties all together with the star card, heal. The more you open up, the sooner you'll receive exactly what you want. This also talks about making sure that you're not trying to control outcomes. Whether or not you're going to have a relationship with this person or not. Just go with the flow. Don't try to control outcomes. And if you're in a relationship, don't try to control every aspect of the relationship because everyone's different. Everyone's going to do things in a different way. Okay? Okay. So now we're on to card 4 at 1826. Yeah, why not? 1826. Okay, so if you picked card number 4, then you picked the 5 of Cups. I know, sad. But this is very real. You could feel sadness or disappointment in your existing relationship for whatever reason. For some, you could be sad because of a breakup or an ending of a connection, even if it's just a friendship. Well, I shouldn't say just, even if it's a friendship. You could feel lonely if you're in a relationship or just in general if you're single. Helpless and hopeless, which is very interesting that those words came out, and you'll see why. You could have had a part in this situation, though. Even though I know some of you may be like, no, it's just the other person. You could have possibly played a part in this ending or this disappointment. You could be focused on what you've lost instead of what you will gain out of this situation. This could be a blessing in disguise, but you may not see that at this time. You may need to process this loss before you jump into a new opportunity when it comes to love, friendship, okay? Now for the advice. Helpless and hopeless. So now there are two cards that talk about being helpless or feeling helpless and hopeless, okay? But we'll start here. The Listen card. These two cards. The Listen card, this talks about, are you actually listening to what the other person is saying in your relationship? Or, what the other person was saying if you're not together anymore? Did you or do you actually hear what they're saying? What they needed? What they wanted? There is such thing as just listening to respond instead of actually listening to understand where this person is coming from. Now keep in mind these messages can be flipped, okay? So take it as it resonates. If the relationship hasn't ended, then you are urged to really listen to each other, okay? So that you understand where you're both coming from. Because it could actually improve your relationship. This is actually a major arcana card. This is the High Priestess, okay? You are urged to step back, detach, remove your emotions from this situation, this relationship, so that you can reevaluate things in this situation or in this relationship. Sometimes you have to detach emotionally so that you can do that. Even if you haven't made it to the relationship stage, okay? If you've been disappointed by a potential mate, then this applies to you as well, okay? What was your role in why this didn't work out? Or why this isn't currently working out? Once you can actually reflect and be honest with yourself, then you could possibly improve your relationship. Or if it's totally done, then you could improve your relationship in the future. But, your previous actions, previous beliefs, previous decisions could have played a part in why this didn't work out or why this is not working out. So with this card, you are urged to accept your role, okay? And this is not to make you feel badly if I'm talking to you with this message, okay? This is not to make you feel badly. This is to help you in the future so that you can move in a different way when it comes to your relationships. Ego is not always your amigo, okay? Ego can play a part. It can be either good for you or bad for you, okay? This is major arcana for the Justice card. So, this right here, there's more. This talks about taking a step back and clearing your mind, okay? Sharing your thoughts, opening your heart, being vulnerable, and most importantly, being a good listener. like we said. This will draw people to you by raising your vibration, and it will clear your energy up so that you are not in this helpless and hopeless energy. So with this card, you are urged to take a step back, get out, spend time with others, doing fun things, okay? Take a break so that your heart can recharge and you can have a clear mind when you want to revisit this. You may think that there are obstacles in your way, that the universe just doesn't like you, the universe is preventing you from happiness when it comes to love with someone. But this is actually, in the regular tarot, this is the Eight of Swords. So this talks about it possibly all being in your head. You are putting yourself in a mental prison. Okay? You could possibly be preventing your own happiness when it comes to love. You could think that it's beyond, hope. But that's not true, because you have the power to do a lot to fix this. So just decide what needs to change. If it's something within you that needs to change, how you think, your beliefs, whatever it is, and then take action towards changing that. Because you have all that you need to create the relationship that you desire. So take your power back so that you can create that for yourself. Okay? So that was the very first pick a card. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Okay? If you like the vibe, please subscribe. If you actually like this video, then please go ahead and like the video. And I'll see you later.